Right. Today, the Senate rejected a procedural motion to reconsider the plebiscite legislation, legislation that they've looked at before and rejected. So let's just do a bit of a summary of where we're at in terms of marriage equality. So the vote in the Senate, that's gone, that's over. So what are we left with? Well, we do know that the Parliament can deal with marriage because Section 51(21) of the Constitution provides that the Parliament can deal with it. Instead, the sort of gutless Malcolm Turnbull has decided to go with this postal plebiscite. Now, what does that mean? Well, for a start, it might not go anywhere because of a High Court challenge, because they've decided, because there's no legislation coming through the Parliament to deal with marriage, they've actually decided to go with the Australian Bureau of Statistics, and they're using sort of emergency money, $122 million, to roll out this postal plebiscite. Now, if the government loses in the High Court, that will be complicated. If the government wins, they'll go ahead with the postal vote. If the government loses, well, then we'll have to have, basically the Liberal MPs will have to cross the floor and join with Labor to bring about marriage equality. If the government wins, there'll be a postal vote. As I said, this is not being run by the Australian Electoral Commission with all their checks and balances and processes and understanding of the security and importance for privacy and strong control over the voting process. Instead, it'll be the Australian Bureau of Statistics. These are the people who ran the census last year. Do you remember that denial of service? Well, they're in the same ballpark, obviously, with the denial of service again. So the postal vote, if the postal vote is a no vote, and we don't actually know how many valid votes there will have to be and what the percentages will have to be, but anyway, let's say there's a no vote, then the only way we get marriage equality is if those rebel MP or the MPs who support marriage equality actually cross the floor to vote with Labor. If the yes vote wins, that actually says the Australian people support marriage equality, then, believe it or not, the Liberal MPs will be able to vote however they want, irrespective of what their electorate or their state, how they voted, which is actually what they could do today if we wanted to get marriage equality sorted. So if that passes, we then have marriage equality. If that fails, we then go back to we'd need the Liberal MPs to come with Labor, or obviously the other alternative is under a shortened government, we've got a strong, firm commitment to bringing in marriage equality within the first 100 days. That's the complicated process that's going to waste $122 million, and I think it will spread fear and division and tears throughout our community. Malcolm Turnbull has really dropped the ball on this one. I just think he should do what he knows is right and support marriage equality.